So yeah, I watched this movie, Somebody I Used to Know, the other day, and it was always going to be a watch for me because I like Alison Brie and I like Dave Franco, and they are just a power couple. But I'm also a big fan of understated small indie films, and this very much felt like that. So I was all in. But then when I actually watched it, I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was fun. It was, I wouldn't say easy, but it was digestible. But I walked away thinking, sure, whatever. And then I realized days later that I was still thinking about it. It's one of those movies that I feel like this happens a couple times a year. It stayed with me. And so I thought about it, and I think the reason it stayed with me is there's an entire genre of these sort of small indie films that are sort of character driven, and it's all about sort of the artist or the person pursuing something difficult or abstract, coming back years later to their hometown for some reason. Yes, Sweet Home Alabama, I guess, technically qualifies, but I'm thinking more of like, something like Obvious Child or Young Adult or Adult Beginners or Away We Go. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'd even say Garden State and Beautiful Girls are in this list, but it's this idea of, people pursuing something either really hyper competitive with a high chance of failure or something with a really unclear path, like an artistic pursuit where there may actually not be an ending result, and what that looks like as a career, and sort of the give and take of the sacrifice of, is pursuing this career, is pursuing this this life, this goal worth it when you compare it to somebody that stayed in their hometown and lived a modest, quiet life. And I don't know, I think this is a kind of a universal experience because I think the American dream does a lot of this, but I think it also is just, what is it really like to come home and experience people for who they are versus your constant threat of falsehood and failure and being a fraud, the imposter syndrome of it all. So I think Somebody That I Used to Know was really satisfying in that it's not a perfect movie, it's not a tone perfect movie, it's not even that hilarious, honestly. But it really resonated with me with the idea that everybody's second guessing themselves about what their lives are meant to be, especially as you grow older and you sort of look back at the paths not taken. But at the end of the day, it really is a reflection on who you are. When you're looking in the mirror, you actually kind of at some point got to be honest with yourself about who you are and what you're doing. And I think that's what this movie was. It was trying to go for a better understanding of who you are and what you care about. And realize that there is no point in comparing to other people because it's your own life. It was very chicken soupy. So, yeah, if you want to go see this movie, Somebody I Used to Know, I really like it. It's getting mixed reviews, but for what it was, I thought it was good. It was very satisfying. It was very easy to, appreciate for what it was, but it's not going to win any awards because it just wasn't built that way. And, some movies that's enough. I have no problem with that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a bad take or do you feel some kind of similar way? Like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you next time.